Okay, for this chapter studies, we're going to be continuing with studying some intervals. And last chapter we looked at thirds and fourths. Today we're going to look at fifths and sixths, and we're going to be playing some double stops where we'll be hitting two notes at the same time. Okay, now a fifth interval is like in our power chords. So when you see an E5, they're just asking for a root in a fifth. So what we're going to do is we're going to harmonize for number one the first two low strings, and we're going to go up in fifths through the E major scale. Okay, now there's going to be a lot of power chord shapes, and then we'll also have a tritone shape or a flat five, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. Okay, now I'll be calling these out from the lower string to the higher string. So for number one, we'll go open in two, and I'm just using my index finger to get that second fret. Okay, now let's start climbing up. We're going to go 2 and a 4. And I'm just going to be using that power chord shape of my index and my ring for all these. Okay, now we'll climb up to a 4 and a 6, a 5 and a 7, 7, 9, 9, 11. Okay, now here comes the flat 5. It's going to be an 11 and a 12, and you could use your index and your middle, or you could use your index and your ring, either way. Okay, now we're back up to our power chord shape for a 12, 14, and that's also where we started. Just up an octave now. After 12, 14, we'll go up to a 14, 16, and then a 16, 18, and then we'll max it out at a 17, 19. And then I recommend run these up and down, and I'll go ahead and do that right now. 3, 4. Okay, now I'll be climbing up pretty high on my electric. There might even be room for a little bit more, but you can max these out and stop wherever you'd like, wherever it gets a little bit too tight. And if you're doing acoustic, you know, it's definitely going to run out of some room a little bit sooner than on electric. So just play the last highest ones where they feel comfortable. Okay, let's look at number 2. Now we're going to climb up and harmonize E major in sixths. And 6 is a really cool interval, really popular for some great guitar licks using sixths. And a couple different ways we can play them. We could either play them on our 6 and our 5th string, like the first example is an open and a 4. Okay, now when I get to the next one, I could do a 2 and a 6, but you're gonna notice it's a pretty big stretch on my 6 and my 5th string. So instead, I'm just gonna kick the second note to the 4th string, and we're gonna skip that 5th string. So I've got my 2nd fret 6th string and my 1st fret 4th string. Okay, now you could do pick and fingers if you want to do a pick and just use your middle finger to hit that 4th string note, or you can strum it, just make sure that you're muting that 5th string. Okay, let's start climbing on up. After 2 and 1, we're going to go to a 4 and a 2, and I'm using my ring and my index. Okay, to a 5 and a 4. And then for the 1 fret stretches, I'm kind of going middle and index, just heads up. Okay, now we go to a 7, 6, 9, 7, 11, 9, 12, 11, 14, 13, 16, 14, and then to a 17, 16. Okay, here comes number 2, 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, we're going to harmonize A minor scale, and we're going to target our 5th and 4th string. We're going to start off with 5th, and then we'll go to 6th. Okay, for our 5th, going to start off with a power chord. It's going to be an open 2, open 5th string, 2nd fret 4th string. Okay, now we're going to go into the first tritone shape. For this one, it's going to be a 2 and a 3. Okay, now to a 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 9, 8, 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14, 15, there's that tritone, 15, 17, and then 17, 19. Okay, here comes number 3, 3, 4. For number 4, we're going to harmonize A minor now in 6th, and we're going to be doing that string skipping concept. Okay, now for the first one, we'll have an open 5th string and 3rd fret on your 4th string. Okay, now we'll start skipping the 4th string and go to our 5th and our 3rd string for all these next ones. So we'll go 2 and an open, 3 and a 2, 5, 4, 7, 5, 8, 7, 10, 9, 12, 10, 14, 12, 15, 14, 17, 16, and then 19, 17. Okay, here comes number 4, 3, 4. Okay, for number 5, we're going to harmonize D major, and we're going to be targeting the 4th and 3rd string for these next ones. So let's start off with some 5ths. Okay, going to start off with an open and a 2. Now we'll go 2, 4, 4, 6, 5, 7, 7, 9, 9, 11, and then here's the tritone, 11, 12, 12, 14, 14, 16, 16, 18, and then 17, 19. Okay, here comes number 5, 3, 4. Okay, for number 6, we're going to start climbing up, doing 6th in D major still, and all of these will be splitting it up between the 4th and the 2nd string, skipping the 3rd string. Okay, first one's going to be an open and an open. For a 2-2, I'm going to use my middle and my ring, and that's the shape. Those are the fingers I'll be doing for when we have our 6th on the same frets. Middle and ring. You can also go index and middle if you like to. Okay, next one is a 4 and a 3. I'm using my middle and my index. Then a 5, 5, 7, 7, 9, 8, 11, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14, 16, 15, 17, 17, and 19, 19. Okay, here's number 6, 3, 4. I'm going to do number 6 now. Instead of using my pick and my fingers, I'm just going to strum it and mute that middle string. I'm just going to use my finger just for the very first one. Okay, for number 1, we're going to now harmonize A major, and we're going to target our 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, I want to just point out some of our shapes are going to change a little bit now. So for this one, as we're going to do 5ths, we're going to start right away with a flat 5 shape, or the tritone. This is going to be a 1 and a 3. I'm using my index and my ring on the 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, now we're going to start going into some fifth shape, and it's going to look like a power chord. And just note the stretch with these two strings. It's going to be a 2 and a 5. Now we'll go to a 4 and a 7, a 6 and a 9, 7, 10, 9, 12, 11, 14, 13, 15. That's that tritone. 14, 17. And then we'll max it out at a 16, 19. Okay, here goes number 1, 3, 4. Number 2, we're going to do 6th in A major, and for all of these we'll be doing our 3rd and 1st string, skipping the 2nd string. Okay, for the first one we'll go 1 open, 2 2, 4 4, 6 5, 7 7, 9 9, 11 10, 13 12, 14 14, 16 16, 18 17, and then we'll max it out at 19, 19. Okay, here comes number 2, 3, 4. Number 3, we're going to target our first 2 strings now, and we'll go into the key of G major. Okay, for fifths, for our very first one, we'll have an open 2nd string and 2 on the 1st string. Okay, next one's going to be 1 3. Then we'll go to a 3 5, 5 7. Here's the tritone, it's a 7 8. Now to an 8 10, to a 10 12. 12, 14, 13, 15, 15, 17, and then we'll max it out at a 17, 19. Okay, I also want to point out that we're back to kind of our normal power chord shape. Okay, here comes number 3, 3, 4. Okay, now for 6th, since we're on the first 2 strings, we won't be skipping a string, and we're just going to be doing that larger stretch. Okay, now for your first one, we're going to have an open 2nd string and 3rd fret 1st string. Okay, next one's going to be a 1 5. I'm using my index and my pinky. Now we'll go 3 7. Now we'll go 5 8. Up to 7 10, 8 12. 10, 14, 12, 15, 13, 17, and we'll max it out at a 17, 19. Okay, here comes 6 on the first 2 strings. 3, 4. Okay, now for number 5 and 6, I'm just going to do some licks using some 5ths and 6ths. For number 5A, we're going to do some 6. We'll start off on our 3rd and 1st string with a 4 4, down to a 2 2, and then we'll do a hammer-on the 3rd string from an open to a 1st fret with the open 1st string. Okay, this one will sound like this. Okay, for 5B, we're going to slide up into a 5th on the 4th and 3rd string, and that'll be a 5 7. And we'll take it down to a 3 5, same string. and then resolving to a 2 on the 4th string with an open 2nd string. So this will sound like this. Okay, for 5C, we're gonna do some 6th. We'll start off on the 4th and 2nd string with a 7-7, take it down to a 6-6, back up to a 7-7, and then into a 7-10 on your 3rd and your 2nd string. And that's a 5th shape right there, so this one will sound like this. Using some chromatic notes and some resolutions for that one. For number 6A, we're gonna do some 5ths in E minor. Let's go ahead and start off on, this will be all on the 5th and 4th string. It'll be a 7-9, up to a 10-12, to a 9-11, and then sliding from a 5-7 to a 7-9. Okay, this one will sound like this. Okay, now back to some 6th. For 6B, we'll go up to the 3rd and 1st string. First one, this is all gonna be in the key of A. The first one's gonna be a 6 and a 5, to a 7-7, 8-8, 9-9, back down to an 8-8, 7-7, to a 6-5. This one will sound like this. Kind of shows you some of the fun with 6, especially in guitar. All sorts of great licks we can play, and you can make them snappy, you can phrase them however you want, but super fun. It's fun to do. You can even get a little chicken in there. All those fun tones you might have heard before. A lot of times we're using intervals like a 6th. Okay, for number 6C, let's go into the key of C. We're gonna start off with a 3 and a 5, a 5th shape on your 5th and your 4th string. Okay, now 5th string and 3rd string, we're gonna skip that 4th string. We'll do a 5-4, 7-5, and then back down to a 5-4. Okay, this one will sound like this.